Good morning. So this is Davina. We are going live. So this lesson, this whole training event is how to awaken the beast within you, and to help you realize that we all have greatness already inside you. So again, this is Davina. I am a nurse. I am in the military, and I am a PGI consultant, a mentor, and a coach. I appreciate your time in being here and joining me today. I have really been looking forward to it. I'm super excited to share just more knowledge and information with you. So it's my mission to help you realize you already have greatness inside you. And a lot of people don't realize that. So I would make a suggestion, grab a pen and a piece of paper and see how you can take some notes and apply this to your own life. So I want to start with a quote, and it's from Thomas Edison. And he says, if we all did the things we were capable of doing, we would literally astound ourselves. Another quote by Jerry Rice. Today I will do what others won't, so tomorrow I can accomplish what others can't. So those are just two really quick quotes, and then I want to share a video with you. Each basically is about mindset. So we're jumping right in. I don't like to waste time. So now we're getting into the content. So I'm basically giving you the blueprint on how to awaken the Michael Jordan within you and awaken your own beast inside. So it's about 7 steps that you can take. And like I said, I would suggest taking a pen and paper and taking some notes. So most of what I'm going to tell you involves becoming more mindful of your actions, your thoughts, and your feelings. And when you become more mindful, you're increasing your level of awareness. And that's how you create lasting changes in your life. So the first step to awaken the beast inside yourself, you have to have a goal. I cannot make that point any clearer. You have to have a goal. You have to have a destination. If you shoot for a C-type goal, that would get you to your purpose and a vision. That's even better than a goal, because the vision and the purpose for your life, you know exactly where you're going, but the goals will get you to that. So you have to have a goal. So going deeper into the first step, majority of people are living a lie. Majority of people in general don't even have a goal. And this was one of the videos I posted before. Just in America, only 3% have a goal, and less than that have a goal written down. And a lot of people are just, they'll get ideas, but they won't act on them. So their dreams and their goals basically just die. So a lot of people think of the purpose of a goal is to get something. Like you'd say, well, the purpose of my goal, I want to buy a new car, or get a boat, or get a house. The purpose of a goal is to grow and to stretch. So when you make a goal, you want to write it down. So this is like what a goal card looks like. You would write your goal. It has to be specific. So your sentence would be like, I am so happy and grateful now that I have, or I earn. And you'd put the date up here at the top, the month that you want to accomplish it by, and the year that you want to accomplish it by. So your goal has to be very specific, because the universe works on specifics. If you just say, I want a lot of money, you're probably not going to get that. It has to be in a specific amount of money. So you could say, I am so happy and grateful now that I earn $40 an hour by, and then the date. So that would be one example. And then you have to know why. Why do you want this goal? The why is so important, because when it starts getting rough, or when you start getting challenges, your why is what keeps you going. So one common error I see a lot is people ask me, well, how? How am I going to get that? The how is not for you to decide. You do not have to worry about how. The only thing you need to worry about is what you want. The how will come along in inspiration and ideas. And somebody asked me what motivates and inspires me. So if your goal isn't inspiring and motivating you, I can tell you right there, it's the wrong goal for you. It's not big enough. When you have the right goal and it's big enough, the goal itself is all the motivation you need. You don't need anything else. So right now, I don't really need motivation or inspiration to do what I'm doing because my goal fuels me. So that's how you'll know you have the right goal, when you no longer need motivation or inspiration. So like I said, if your dreams aren't scaring you, you're not dreaming big enough. You need to push the boundaries because you're limitless. Michael Jordan, we all know he was cut from his high school basketball team. He cried about it. You know, Michael Jordan cried. He faced failure. But then when he got on the team, you know, he practiced. He never let the basketball leave his hands after that. And then when he joined the team, he told his coach, like, I don't want to just be good. I want to be the best. So he made a goal, and it was a big goal. He wanted to be the best. So that's kind of like what I'm telling you, you need to do. So I mentioned the C-type goal. I have another video about this, but with the C-type goal, you're creating the vision for your life, your fantasies, all your wishes, your goals, your dreams. And then you have to actually see yourself doing it and accomplishing it. So what do you really want? Like, what do you want your life to look like? This is where you sit down and you literally write out everything that you want and what you want your life to look like. Do you want to own your own business? Do you want more time and money freedom? Do you want to be able to provide for your family and still enjoy whatever you want to do? Do you want to be like Michael Jordan in your area of expertise? Whatever you want, I can show you how to do it. So step 2, you're gonna have to change. So if you keep doing what you're doing right now, nothing is gonna change. If you want something you've never had, you're gonna have to become someone you've never been. You're gonna have to grow and stretch. And like I said, that's the whole purpose of the goal. In life, a lot of us think things are impossible until it's done. So I'll give you the example of track and field. Back in the day, you know, running a mile, we used to think 6 or 7 minutes, that was fast. Well, it's not anymore. The fastest ran mile was 3 minutes and 43 seconds, and that was in 1999. I mean, that's fast, and eventually somebody's got to beat that. So nothing is impossible until it's done. So how are you going to change? How are you going to become somebody new? Well, this is where you're going to look at people who have influenced you, people you admire, people that you follow on Instagram, Facebook, people that just you look up to. What are some of their behaviors or qualities that you really like about them that you could start, like, take from them and build your own new model that you can start adapting in your own life? And then you want to find someone who's doing what you want to do, and basically emulate them and use them as evidence and say, oh, if that person's doing what I want to do, I can do it too. So use them as evidence. So for me, there's like been a ton of people that I admire and that, you know, I'm emulating. I'm taking bits and pieces from people that I admire and that I look up to, and I'm building my own new model. So change is inevitable. You know, just the past couple of years, COVID has proven that. If you think you're going to be in the same job you're in now for the rest of your life, I mean, a lot of people were just laid off because of COVID. So, you know, nothing really can stay the same. Change is inevitable. You're going to have to change. You know, things have to change. So for you to get to where you want to be, you have to change. Some examples of things you could change now, starting today. You could change some of your non-productive habits and turn them into better ones. So if you're watching a lot of TV, I would start, you know, cutting back on that. If you want to start working out and getting into shape, maybe wake up a half hour earlier and prioritize it in the morning. Whatever changes you want to make, it's best to do them early in the morning. You're making them and yourself a priority when you do it in the morning. On the weekends, could you spend an hour meal prepping if weight loss is one of your goals? If you want to do self-development, could you cut out TV at night and start studying or reading 10 pages a book, 10 pages a day? Those are just some examples. But you want to start living on purpose with your purpose to get to where you want to be. If you just keep going through the motions like what you're doing now, nothing's going to change. If you keep doing exactly what you're doing now, nothing in your life is going to change. You're going to have to change. It's just plain and simple. You're going to have to start working on one habit at a time to get to where you want to go. And that's a hard pill for some people to swallow. You know, a lot of times we try to change somebody else. We want to change our spouse. Think of how hard it is to change somebody else. Think how hard it is to change yourself. So it starts with yourself. The third step in awakening the beast within inside of you, you have to develop a new self-image. How do you see yourself? So this is kind of built on the one we were just talking about, where you look at people who you want to be like. So if you play basketball and you want to be like Michael Jordan, you know, you're probably going to be in the gym almost every day, all day. So you find people who are doing what you're doing that you want to be like, and this is where you create your new self-image. So you have to start acting like the person you want to be. If you want to be a millionaire, if you want to be successful, you have to start acting like you already are it. You have to become it already right now. And you have to know who you are. A lot of people don't even really know who they really are. So my daughter, I have a 3-year-old, so we watch all these Disney movies, but they're actually really good. So this movie everybody's probably seen, The Lion King. So when Simba's kind of lost and he finds Rafiki and then he sees his dad coming down from the clouds, he tells Simba, like, you have forgotten who you are. Like, you are the king. Quit messing around. So it's the same thing with all of us, with all human beings. We have forgotten who we really are. It's almost like we're in the movie World War Z. They're like zombies, but when they're dormant, they just kind of mosey around. That's how I feel like majority of people are living. They're not being stimulated. They're not growing. They don't know all this greatness that's already inside of you. So why is that? Why do we not know who we are? That we're spiritual beings. We were created in God's image. We have so much power locked up inside of us. So why do people not, follow their dreams, go after their dreams? Why do they settle? And I think there's a lot of reasons why. I think social media is a big problem. We try to compare ourselves with other people. We're scared to be who we really are. We're scared of having our own opinion because we're afraid we might offend somebody. We're scared of what other people think. I know being a mom, and I'm sure if dads are the same way, a lot of times you put yourself last. When you have a family and kids, those become the priorities, and your own self, you put yourself on the waistline, and it's sad, and I don't know why we do that. You should still always be a priority in your own life, and you can tell if you are or not. And I don't think we're being true to ourselves, and we have forgotten our gifts, these gifts that God has given us. So Albert Einstein, he said, the intuitive mind is a sacred gift. The rational mind is a faithful servant. We have created a society that honors the servant, the rational mind, and has forgotten the gift. The gift is the intuitive mind. So we have 6 higher faculties. These were gifts that were given to us by God. They're memory, reason, imagination, will, perception, and your intuition. Or when people say listen to your gut, your intuition. So even Albert Einstein is realizing that we forget how powerful we are in our intuition, and we have all these higher faculties, but we don't pay attention to them. We're living our lives on social media, on the news, and if you keep watching the news and listening to social media and things like that, you're going to live in fear. And that's how they control you. And that's how the government gets control of you, by living in fear. So I'm here to tell you that there's a better way to live. And on the same lines as society, in that we've all become more sensitive, and we're all, scared to have an opinion and to voice our opinions because of offending somebody. And kind of along the same lines, another issue is we don't make decisions. A lot of people don't even know how to make decisions for themselves. They'll say, oh, I need to ask my husband. I need to ask my wife. Even something as simple as, what to cook for dinner, or what do you guys want for dinner? You'll ask somebody else, or planning a trip. That's another problem we have, is like lack of making decisions or knowing how to make decisions. So this is why you have to build a new self-image. And it kind of goes along the lines of, what does your daily dialogue look like? Like, what is the dialogue you're having with yourself and inside of your mind? So psychologists say 86% of our self-talk is negative. And I pick up on this a lot. So if I were to talk to you and you would say, oh, I can't do this, or I can't do that, or I'm a bad mother, or I'm a bad friend. Do you hear the things that you're saying about yourself? Because I pick up those really quickly. So once you start noticing the conversations you're having with yourself and about yourself and to others, you got to become more mindful. This is what this whole topic is about, becoming more mindful of what you're saying, because your thoughts turn into things. So if you don't like who you are when you're looking in the mirror, guess what? You can change it. You can become a new, better version. Whatever you don't like, you can change. So something that bothered me in my own life, we were not eating dinner at the dinner table anymore. We were not cooking like a lot and eating at the dinner table. And I was asking myself, why? Why do we keep eating in front of the TV? So I said, no, I want to change that. So we're changing that. And then we did. So that's what you could do in your own life. Whatever you don't like, change it. This is one a lot of people struggle with. So a lot of people lack self-confidence and self-esteem. At a lot of people. This is a lot of people. So if you don't feel worthy or like you're good enough, this is where you'll build a new self-image, and you'll tell yourself, like, I am worthy, I am enough, I am strong. And the more you tell yourself that, the more you'll start to believe it. And it's with repetition, and you keep saying these things over and over, and then you'll start to believe it. And then you make the new model, the new version of yourself. Now the fourth step. So after you have a new self-image, you create the new version of yourself. What do you want, to project yourself as? The fourth step is you have to visualize it. You have to see yourself already being that person. Whatever you want to be, you have to visualize it. This is where the creative process gets involved. Then you have to stop caring what other people think about you. That is when I truly unleashed the beast inside of me. When I quit caring what people thought about me. I was in my 30s when I went jogging for the first time in just a sports bra, with my shirt off. And I felt so free and empowered. When you quit caring what other people think, you are free. One of the best quotes I have, or I've heard, is from Winston Churchill. He says, when you're in your 20s, you care what everyone thinks. When you're in your 40s, you stop caring what people think. When you're in your 60s, you realize no one was ever thinking about you in the first place. So this is your life. Do what you want. Quit caring what your parents or what people are going to think of you. Are they paying your bills? Are your friends and your parents paying your bills? Are they going to care what you do with your life? There's another quote that says, nobody cares. And you can either think positive of that quote or negative. You could think nobody cares. Or you could think nobody cares. Nobody cares what you do. If you keep doing what you're doing right now, your life's not going to change. Or you could say, I don't care what people think. I'm going to do what I want today. So that's kind of how you have to live. And then, you know, a lot of people are going to call you crazy if you have a good job right now. So I'm a nurse right now, and I'm planning on quitting that. And a lot of people are calling me crazy. When you go to do something big, people are going to call you crazy. And just know that if this is what is lighting you up inside, that you're on your path. So it's kind of like in another movie my daughter watches, Finding Nemo. Just keep swimming, just keep swimming, just keep going and moving in the direction of your goal no matter what. The sixth step to awakening the beast within inside of you, quit making excuses. You have to tell a different story. So this is your life. You only have the time now. None of us know when our time is going to be up. Your time could be up tomorrow. So do whatever you can today to get you in the direction you want to go. Mel Robbins, I love her. She has a good quote that says, "Nobody's coming. Nobody is coming to help you. Nobody's coming to push you. Nobody is coming to tell you to go make your bed, clean your room, do the laundry, go after your goal. Nobody's coming to, tell you to do anything. Nobody's coming. This is all up to you. So whatever you want, you have to make the time for it. You have to do it. And a lot of times you're going to do it alone, and that's okay. You will start to learn to love yourself. When I was first on my own and alone, it was kind of weird, and I didn't like it, years ago, but now I love it. When I have alone time, I love it. I love having time for myself. I love making time for myself. And the biggest thing is, like I said, tomorrow is not guaranteed. And a lot of excuses I'll hear people say is, I don't have time, or I don't have the money. So the truth is, you do have time. We all have the same amount of time. It's what you do with your time. So are you sleeping in? Are you watching a lot of TV? What are you doing with your time? Maybe you need to sit down and reevaluate and reschedule some things. If you're telling me working out is your goal and losing weight's your goal, if it really was your goal, you would make time for it. You would get up a half hour or an hour earlier and make time for it. You would eat better. Another one I hear is, I don't have money. So this is really interesting, because a lot of people will justify spending money on a new TV, a new cell phone, a new couch. But when they're asked to invest in themselves, in their education, in just helping them get on to their goals and where they want to go in life, they won't do it. Why is that? I hear you would spend money on a TV or on possessions or clothes or new shoes, but when I'm asking you to invest in yourself, to make yourself better, majority of people will say they can't do it or they don't have the money. Why is that? So I know I was one of them. I used to think the same way, and the first time I invested in myself, that's when I saw the biggest return on the investment, and I grew exponentially. And then most people will say, I want to wait, or this isn't the right time, or, I'll wait till later. I don't want to start right now. So, okay, like I said, this is your time now. You don't know how much time you have. So if you want to keep waiting and procrastinating, just know you're going to be right where you are now for who knows how long. You're going to stay stuck. Then, how are you talking about the things that you want and your goals and your dreams? So this is kind of almost like the same talk you have with yourself, with the self-dialogue. So are you saying things or words like, I only want, or I just want, or I want a minimum of, or I want at least, or I'll wait, or I'm trying? If you're going for a goal and you say, I'm trying, all of those words and sentences and statements, they all imply lack and limitation. And you're going to keep getting more of the same, because the universe hears that. The universe feels the vibration that you have about what you want, and you'll keep getting more of the same, more of lack and limitation. So you have to eliminate those words and those statements. So Instead of saying I'm trying, or I only want, or I just want, get rid of those words altogether and quit using them. Because like I said, the universe picks up on all of that, and that's why you haven't gotten what you want yet. The last step, so the seventh step to awakening the beast within inside you is you have to have a winning attitude, belief in yourself, and just enjoy the process. So you already have greatness within inside of you. You were created on purpose and with a purpose. You're different. You are unique. It's just like all of us have a different fingerprint. Every blade of grass is different. Every snowflake is different. Every star in the universe is different. And every human being is different. You are different. I am different. We were all created on purpose and with a purpose. And you won't truly be happy or fulfilled in your life until you start working on what God created you to do, until you realize what your purpose is. And then when you wake up and realize why God created you, and you quit caring what other people think, that's when you release the beast inside of you. But you have to believe in yourself, and you have to know who you are, and that you have so much greatness already inside of you that's just dying to get out. But it takes courage. It takes a lot of guts. It takes courage to go after what you want. You know, when we're kids, we're goal-oriented beings. At birth, you are, your first thing is to start crawling, and then you want to start walking, and everybody's there cheering you on when you're a baby. It's not until we become older that people start doubting you and fear, and like you get fear and doubt in your head, and people don't want to believe in you. But you have to have courage to do it anyways. Not a lot of people will do that. There might be somebody who in the very audience who sees what I'm doing and wants to do it. I'm here to tell you, you can do anything. Anything you want to do, you can do it. You just have to awaken the beast inside you and be like Michael Jordan. There's a Michael Jordan inside of all of us. There's that greatness inside of all of us. You just don't believe it yet. Stay with me and keep following me, and you will believe it. It's just like the movie The Matrix. So I go back to movies a lot because I love movies. I'm a movie buff. The movie The Matrix, Mr. Anderson. At the end of the movie, he's like holding his head down, about to like get, kill him with the train. And he's like, Mr. Anderson, you're going to face your death. And Neo, he like busts out of it and he says, no, my name is not Mr. Anderson. I am Neo. And it's almost like that in that moment, he realizes who he is and his power. And in the end of the movie, he became the one. He became that person I'm telling you, you are. We all have that inside of us. You just have to believe it. You have to know that you already are it right now. You just don't believe it yet. But don't worry, you will. And then, like I said, you have to enjoy the process. So if you get so hung up or caught up on your goal that you start getting stressed out or worried about it or fearful if it's not going to come, you got to kick all that stuff out to the wayside. You just have to know that it will happen. It is by law. The more you think about it, the more you visualize it, it must come to you. It is by law. So just allow things to happen. Let your success happen. Don't get so caught up in the how, and don't get so caught up in the negative part of it. Just stay positive, be thankful, be grateful, enjoy the process, enjoy the journey, because every step, if you're growing and if you're challenging yourself and doing things you've never done before, you're on your way. So now I want to tie this back to the beginning. So when I first started, I showed you 2 clips. One was of Michael Jordan. So he actually has his story on Netflix. It's called The Last Dance. So I do recommend that movie. It's fantastic. It's like a series, so that was really good. And then the second clip I showed you was of who's the king of the jungle. The lion is the king of the jungle. And why is that? It's because of his mindset. So, but in that clip, why isn't the elephant the king of the jungle? He's the biggest. You would think he would be the king of the jungle. So this is why I want you to know why elephants are not the king of the jungle. So circus elephants are conditioned when they're babies. They get tied up to this little stake in the ground with a little piece of rope. And when they're babies, they obviously can't overcome it. So they're conditioned. They live in fear and doubt, and they can't budge this stake when they're little babies. So they're conditioned to believe they can't do it. So then when they grow up, when they get big, and they get big quick, they still have that same mindset that they can't bust through this tiny little stake and this little piece of rope. Even though they're enormous, short in a short while, they still believe they can't do it because of that conditioning. So the same thing applies to us. We grow up with all these limitations on ourselves that we create in our own minds. Maybe in school we had a bully who told us, you're ugly, you're fat, you can't do that. And then we grow up still believing these crazy thoughts that, somebody once told us forever ago, and the person's opinion doesn't even matter. So we are like the elephants who are chained to this little tiny stake and the little piece of rope, thinking we can't do things. But I'm here to tell you, you can. You can do anything. We all have greatness and a Michael Jordan inside of us that is just dying to get out. We are all powerful spiritual beings. We are living in a physical body. This is not even who we are. So you are capable of far more than you even imagine. If your mind can think it, and if your mind can conceive it, you can achieve it. Tell me what you want and I will show you how to get it. From Bob Proctor, my mentor. He believed it, I believe it, he taught me, and I can teach you. So another last quote: what lies behind us and what lies before us are small matters compared to what lies within us. And when we bring what is within us out to the world, miracles happen. Ralph Waldo Emerson said that. What lies behind us and what lies before us are small matters compared to what lies within us. Like, this is talked about in so many books. Once you start opening your mind up to this, it's like, oh my God, I can see. I finally see who I really am. You already have a Michael Jordan inside of you. You just don't believe it or know it yet. Keep staying with me, keep learning from me, and eventually you will. So if you follow my 7 steps, I'll show them to you real quick. You have to have a goal. That's your starting point. You're gonna have to change. You gotta build a new self-image. You have to visualize the person you wanna be. You have to develop some mental toughness. People are going to question everything that you do, and you just have to not believe it. You got to get some toughness. Quit making excuses and have a winning attitude and belief in yourself and enjoy the journey. So I hope that helps. I hope this was a great lesson for you. Once you start believing in your greatness, it will appear. Unleash that beast within inside of you. There is great love here for you. With love and gratitude, Davina.